Hey there everybody, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Puborama, and in today's video, I'll be breaking into this week's update for Grand Theft Auto Online. We've got removed cars coming back, we've got some decent discounts, and some double money. So let's get straight into it! Let's start off with the increased money that you can make this week. There's really only two notable things. First of all, we have the Acid Lab. You can be making double money on your Acid Lab sale missions, which is decent. I'm not going to say the Acid Lab is the best business, because it's not. Heck, just the triple income on your nightclub this week for passive income is more than the Acid Lab is going to make you. But at the same time, it's still a pretty decent chunk of money to be netting for zero possibility of getting raided and a very simple single vehicle sale mission. So I really can't complain, but at the same time, nothing incredible compared to the previous weeks we've had. We also have double money on armored robberies. These are the little trucks that roll around and you can take the money out of the back if you blow the doors open. Who cares? They go from $25,000 to $50,000. If you see one of the trucks rolling down the road, then sure, blow it up. But apart from that, just do a payphone hit. It'll take you 3 minutes and you're going to make way more money. So I don't really understand the point of the armored truck robbery still. I think they should pay at least $100,000. It would at least make it worth it to search for them while driving in a public or solo session. So with that aside, let's break into the discounts and vehicles that you can get your hands on this week. First of all, we have the Podium vehicle, which is the Stinger GT. I think that the Stinger GT is one of the nicest looking sports classics. Unfortunately, that's about as much as I can say. It's not incredibly fast at around 119 miles an hour, and it also doesn't feature really any customization apart from changing the color. So it's a bit disappointing. I'd really like to see Rockstar revamp this vehicle like they've done with a lot of the other vehicles in the game, like the Turismo Rs and Torno, but I guess we'll have to find out. We also have this week's prize ride being the Nebula Turbo. It's a really cool vehicle when it comes to customization. I mean, just look at what this build has going for it right here. It's really cool. You can do sticker bomb and a bunch of cool liveries, and heck, if you want to shove some luggage on the roof of the car, you can. This vehicle, you're going to have to finish top 3 2 days in a row, which is pretty easy. To be fair, there's nothing special about the car on performance, neither top speed. So it's just a cool looking car that if you're a big fan of JDM, get your hands on it. But apart from that, I can't say anything all too special about the Nebula Turbo. So let's break into this week's discounts. Starting off, we have 50% off of the Weenie Dynasty. Honestly, there's really nothing to say about this car. I mean, it's cool looking, it's got a lot of customization, and it's a weird vehicle. Looks like something Austin Powers would drive, but that's about it. It's slow. It's like one of the worst performing sports classics in the game. It's got some of the worst handling in the game. I mean, you can see that just from the short little drive here. This is not a vehicle I would consider impressive by any means. So if you're a fan of the way the car looks, then yeah, I mean, I guess it's decent. It's only $450,000 normally, so this week you can get it for what, $225,000? But apart from that, there's a reason why it's 50% off. After the Dynasty, we have the Valkyrie as another vehicle 50% off. Now, the Valkyrie is really cool looking. Unfortunately, there's nothing special about it. You need at least 2 people to actually make the weapons work, because obviously, okay, well, that's interesting, but obviously the miniguns back here cannot be used by the pilot, because, yeah, that's pretty common sense. So both the miniguns are already irrelevant unless you have 2 people. And then you have the gun on the front. Now, you might think that the pilot can captain this gun. Unfortunately, you can't. You're going to have to, again, have somebody else in the passenger seat while you're flying the helicopter to actually have this explosive MG work. It's a really deadly helicopter. It can survive a decent beating of missiles, and it's a cool, fun flying vehicle. Unfortunately, there's just not much going for it unless you have a lot of people to help you out. So if you do, I wouldn't say it's the worst deal ever. It's normally $3.8 million. You can get it for $1.8 million this week, but again, you need more than one person to actually make it effective, and even then, it's still really not going to be that great of a vehicle, especially when you can use something like the Avenger, which has more explosive weaponry and can survive way more missiles. So yeah, I definitely would not recommend to get your hands on the Valkyrie. If you don't own the Brigade 6x6, this as part of the Acid Lab, I would highly recommend that you get your hands on one, either by doing the Drug Wars DLC missions, which are really easy and should only take you around an hour, or you can just buy the frickin' 6x6 at this point for $450,000. That's really cheap, and the vehicle itself is incredibly cool. Like, even if you don't want to do the missions themselves, or you don't even want to use your Acid Lab because you have enough money, the Brigade 6x6 itself is epic. It can survive upwards of 50 homing missiles, which is absolutely insane. It's very fast, going upwards of 100 miles per hour. It's actually incredibly good at off-roading, as I've seen in previous videos, and it even features semi-bulletproof glass, which you can see on the front. So it's an incredible brute. Even if you don't want it for the business, it's just a fun vehicle to mess around with, and it also sends cars flying out of the way. So I would highly recommend to just get your hands on the Brigade 6x6 to begin with. It's definitely worth the price tag. Next up, we have our only supercar this week, and not the most incredible supercar, the Entity XF. This vehicle is not fast, nor is it very great on handling. I mean, it's not bad, I should point that out. It's still a supercar, and it's not the worst in the supers category. There's just nothing to write about it. I mean, I literally, in my notes for today's video, I wrote, not amazing. So yeah, there's really nothing crazy going for it. But the price tag's pretty cheap. It's normally $800,000. You can get it for $480,000 this week. So yeah, I mean, it's a cool vehicle. It's fun to drive, and it looks really nice because it is based off of Koenigsegg at the end of the day. But that's about really all I can say for the vehicle. Its customization is pretty lame, if I'm going to be completely honest, and yeah, there's not much. Again, it would be nice if Rockstar would revamp this vehicle a little, give it some new liveries, give it some more customization, but seems like that's not going to be the case, at least for a while. We also have the Kanjo SJ, another vehicle that is not very impressive. It's slow, is what I wrote for my notes, and that is definitely the case. It is one of the slowest coupes in the game. It's like 16th in top speed out of the 17 available. It's just not what I would ever consider a very fast car. Now, it's got a lot of great customization, so obviously, you're not purchasing this vehicle for the speed or the performance. You're buying it because it looks freaking sick, and it does. I mean, it's got great customization going for it. From the back design to the front, everything about this vehicle is incredibly cool, and it's normally $1.2 million. So the fact that you can get it pretty cheap, $700,000 this week, is actually pretty good. It's a bit disappointing, though, that it is such a bad performance-wise vehicle. I mean, you would think that this would fit into the sports category just looking at it. It's a two-door, but yeah, it's just awful. Like, the handling is absolutely awful. So it's cool, but again, I would turn this into a drift vehicle, put some low grip tires on it, because that's about as fun as it's going to get. Now we arrive at the Dominator. This is a really, really cool vehicle, this one being the Future Shock, but also we have the Apocalypse and Nightmare that are on sale this week. I've always thought that the Arena War variant of the Dominator is really weird because of that massive plow you have on the back. I mean, it's really good for bulletproof protection. If anybody's ever shooting at you from the rear, obviously that's completely bulletproof. The part that I've always found weird about it is the fact that you can just launch it. I mean, like, what does it do when you launch it off the back? Does it make your vehicle handle better? I actually have no clue. So let me know in the comments if that does anything. But I still think the Dominator itself is a really cool vehicle. The plow on the front looks absolutely epic. It's massive, and obviously it's really good at sending vehicles out of the way. Plus, this vehicle features a super speed boost, allowing you to achieve a top speed of 130 miles per hour on average. So, actually just really good in general. And the fact that you can get it discounted this week, normally $1.1 million, but it's only $680,000, is actually pretty decent, I'll be honest. The also normal variant of the Dominator's on sale, but who cares? It's normally like $30K, it's $25,000 this week. I'm not even sure why Rockstar even discounted the Dominator, to be real. But the Future Shock, Nightmare, and Apocalypse variants are all very cool, and for the discounted price, I would highly recommend to think about picking one of these up. Now we arrive at a sports car, a very cool looking sports car. This is the Mercedes Sterling Ross, if I remember. I remember literally making a video on this car once, and it was a while ago. So I do plan on making another video probably this week on the car, as it is just one of the coolest looking cars in the game, one of the coolest roadsters that I just smashed into a wall. But yeah, the car looks really cool. Unfortunately, its handling is really bad. It's got a good top speed though. 123 miles per hour, so I mean, it's not slow, but yeah, if you're gonna take a look at this vehicle's handling, it's pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's pretty mediocre. So if you're going to buy this vehicle, you're gonna buy it because it looks really cool. And normally the problem I've had with it is the price tag. It's like ridiculously expensive at $2.1 million normally. But for 1.5 mil, I would say that this isn't the worst car ever. It looks cool, and I guess that's really all that matters for a lot of people. So yeah, if you think the car looks cool and you don't care about performance, then I can definitely say that the SM722 is not a bad buy. And to finish off today's video, we have the Weenie Issi Rally. This is an SUV, which I always find weird because it doesn't really look like an SUV, but that's just because I guess it's a Mini Cooper. Either way, the car's actually got some really good things going for it. First of all, in the SUV category, even without HSW upgrades, it's not only very good on handling and performance, but it also has just pretty good acceleration due to the fact it's all-wheel drive. It's actually a really good car. I was watching GTA Man's video on the update, seeing what he thought about all these vehicles, and I was surprised to see him hating on this vehicle, because it's actually very good on performance and overall top speed for the SUVs category. It's one of the best SUVs actually in the game for handling. Add that into the fact with HSW upgrades, this is not only the best lap time SUV, but also features a crazy top speed of 138 miles per hour, and yeah, it's actually a really good car. So maybe I'll make a video on this vehicle this week, maybe I won't, I'm not really sure. It is a removed car as well, so if you like SUVs or you like the look of this vehicle, I would highly recommend to get your hands on it and pick it up. It's not too expensive either, only $1.3 million from the normal $1.8 million price tag, so not all too bad. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you'd like to see more like it, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below, and yeah, I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.